No, you got to, oh, hang on. Maybe it's me. Hang on. Okay, try it now.
Try
Talk
it now. Now.
Well, I mean, I can hear you, but come on, open up. All right, let me turn the volume down on this one. Come back to this one. Got it. Okay. I'm gonna hit record in a few minutes. This is just downtime right now. The
Well,
stream
see
is
what I look
going.
like. I don't know if I'm too close. Or too
Well,
far.
down at the bottom of your screen, you have a camera with a red line on it. There you are.
Here I am.
Okay. Okay, and then on to the left, you
Did
have a
I shut that?
microphone.
Well, that screen is shut. I can turn the lights down if it looks like it's too much. How do I look?
You look gorgeous.
Well, I mean, besides that,
I mean, darling, you look just gorgeous. What you need are ring lights right behind your screen so that it'll shine on you, just not at you. So,
I have them in the garage.
well, that's not helping you now. So we'll have an open session. Robert might chime in. He'll
Robert?
give his Robert Santa Claus.
Oh,
Yeah, I told him I hope you're going to be. He's one of my biggest fans. Trying to get all these prompts. Okay, got it. Everybody's at. They're all at. I mean, all my phones are asking me, "Did you sign in? Did you sign in?" Okay, paused. All right. So anyway, we're just going to talk about what we've talked about in the past. You'll be able to throw in because you already know the answers to all this stuff. It just seems to be coming up a lot, and I'm kind of wanting to focus on just tangibles in a relationship, mostly anything. And then behavior. Someone's behavior.
all right.
You have your lights all the way up?
Yes.
Okay. And your volume's all the way up?
How's that? To make any difference?
That made a little difference. Yeah. Can hear you a little better.
A little more. How's that?
Better. When you're talking, I'm going to mute me so there's no distortion. So that just means pushing the little microphone and then I'm muted. And then when you don't, so when I'm talking, you can mute yourself.
Oh, crap. Hold on. I lost you. What did you do?
I'm right here.
Where?
Up in the upper right-hand corner, it says view. Upper right-hand corner, click on that.
It says support, English.
Should say view.
Oh, come on. No. Stop, you damn thing. Oh.
Oh, I can still see you and hear you.
There we go. No, you went to, it said Zoom.
Oh.
I don't know. Don't touch anything.
Don't touch it. I know. Don't. So make sure I can hear you okay. You may have to lean in a little bit because I can't hear it. Right. I'm on a microphone. Ooh.
Ooh.
You can hear me really good.
How's that?
Yeah, well, it's better. Yeah, you're looking good. All right.
I have my rock too.
You oh, you found your rock.
Oh, what do you mean I found it? I've never lost it.
Oh, misplaced it?
Have it with me all the time, actually.
Cool beans, you'd keep it charged up?
I positively feed it good ions.
Good. Well, you can put it in the windowsill on a moonlit night. I'm glad I'm not recording this part.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, that would be a big bug.
So I'm going to do a butt first because I always have a butt first before I start. My butt first. And then, I mean, I'll introduce you before, but I'm going to butt first it first. Today's show is about relationships, the romantic kind. I'll go over some intro info, and then butt first. I do have a butt first, darling. And my butt first, I was looking for it when you startled me with your phone call.
Startled.
Yeah, startled. Ooh, I think I was dozing off just looking at this. So what do you think of this one? The universe always gives you exactly what you need to live a life that's in line with the frequency of what you focus the majority of your attention on. So it's essential that you become clear in your heart's desire. Focus as much of your attention as possible on that heart's desire and courageously open yourself up to whatever wants to come into your life. So that will be my but first.
Okay.
Okay, we aren't starting for another 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
3 minutes, makeup.
I already did that.
Yeah,
Let's maybe get my good side or not.
Oh, no earrings or anything like that. Okay.
Nope, just my big bugger rock. I'm gonna pick this.
Get your big
That's
rock.
what I'll leave, my picking stone. Oh, I'm tickled.
So I'm writing all this stuff out about relationships, and I came up across something that had to do with business, and I started writing that. I'm like, wait, this isn't relationships, this is business. Stop, Isla, focus. So getting
Do you have any questions that you think you're gonna ask me?
well, I'm going to say, hey, what do you think of this?
Well, of what?
For example, boundaries. People that when I'm going to kind of focus a short period of time on boundaries. So some people go in with strong boundaries. They're independent, both sides, and then all of a sudden one becomes more dominant and the other one lets them walk all over them. And then you have this codependent relationship and your boundaries are destroyed. Focusing yourself on keeping yourself independent in a relationship is important because that's why you guys fell in love with each other or whatever. So keeping yourself out of that state of codependency, which I'll give a definition of, a little Google definition, if you will. Oh my God, would it please stop that? Here we go. We just get codependency, meaning excessive emotional or psychological reliance on a partner, typically one who requires support on account of, illness or other issues. But you don't want to be, and there's different signs of codependency. There's a tendency to do more than your share all the time. These do not sound familiar to you, do they? A tendency to apologize, to keep the peace, fear of loss. Oh, and being in a relationship doesn't mean you should ever feel like you're in trouble. Difficulty making decisions, fear of losing a relationship, trust, blah, 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 blah. So we'll go over
and
that
the blah,
too.
blah, blah,
And the blah, blah. I'm going to do the blah, blah.
I'm not ready for that
Okay,
kind of question.
I'm putting it on record. Recording. A recording in progress. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Most Things Hypnosis. I'm your host, Isla Brock, certified hypnotherapist at Central Valley Hypnotherapy. I do have a special guest today. His name is Paul Marshall. Say hi, Paul.
Hello,
He's going to be with us. We're going to talk about relationships of the romantic kind. But I wanted you to know I'm isolating the conversation today for heterosexual relationships. However, I did some research today and I learned that gender doesn't play a role in how relationships work or how they don't work. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. But because I'm a straight girl, and he's a straight guy, we're going to talk in that vernacular just because that's what we're used to. Just so you know how we're speaking, but you can relay this to however your relationships are. I'm also want to offer you, if you're out there and you're hearing this and listening to this and you would like to co-host or be a guest and talk about your perspective, I'm happy to talk to you about that and bring you on this show. It's called Most Things Hypnosis, which I will talk a little bit about that towards the end. And if you want to how do you do it? Just come and ask me for a link or see it on my Facebook page and you just click on it. The link doesn't change. It's the same one all year long. But I always have a but first before I start the show. My but first. The universe always gives you exactly what you need to live a life that's in alignment with the frequency of what you focus on the majority. I'm sorry, the frequency of what you focus the majority of your attention on. It's essential that you become clear on your heart's desire, focus as much of your attention as possible on that, and courageously open yourself up to whatever wants to come into your life. Keep yourself focused. So if you're focusing always on being sick or being negative, you're always going to attract sick and negative. If you focus on your bills all the time, that's what you're going to be seeing all the time. You know, it's your frequency changes. When you buy a new car, you end up seeing that car everywhere you go, because that's where your focus is. Same way. So without further ado, that was my butt first. And I'm going to just quickly mute my phone so that if I do get a call, they won't ring while I'm in this. Well, we're going to do a little talk a little bit about some relationships. And I'm just going to bring up some points. And my buddy here is just going to give me his take on some of these things. I have some amazing statistics on how relationships are. Oh, there it is. Relationships.
Can I make a comment though on what you just stated for the guests
Absolutely.
out there?
By all means.
I think for me and what's helped me a lot, because like the statement of focusing, well, what does that mean? You know, we have so many things in our daily lives, you know, how do you actually focus? What does it take to focus? And when you're trying to manifest something, your focus needs to be in a visual state. That's how you translate the message, is more in a visual state more versus a verbal state. You know, the universe listens to and understands when you picture it in your head. They say you can achieve it. Well, if you see it in your mind's eye, you can achieve it. Now, if you also want to add to that, though, is depending on, like here, you want a new car and you want that new red car and it's 4-door and you picture yourself, you know, driving it. But how does the universe or God or however you want to look at it know just how much you want it? Is by your emotions that you put with it. If you truly want that one thing and you truly can see it in your mind's eye, and if you truly do want it, you will put the emotions with it. But then after that, don't ask for it. Thank for having it, and then release it. Because if you keep focusing on it, keep asking for it, it's like you never really believed that you were going to get it in the first place.
Doubt. It's those dots of doubt that just kill it. So I've got a whole list of things here. So first of all, choosing a partner, these aren't in any certain order because I've just kind of rambled on my paper here as I was writing notes. Choosing a partner who will relate to you under the same set of agreed upon rules. Do you have a set of rules in your own life that you will have a partner for that will relate to those rules? And what if you have this idea of a partner and let's say you have 20 points and they have to meet all points. And sometimes it's just a gut, it's a chemistry or whatever, but you really should be looking at a lot of different, even tangibles, which we'll go over in a minute. But even Paul, like when because Paul's single, by the way, ladies, single, single and living in Visalia. Anyway, but when you're focusing on that person, you're putting them in a petri dish. You're making a study of that person. Now, do their values line up? And you, by the way, Paul, chime in at any point during this as I'm saying these things. Do your values line up? What are their values? If you have this certain value of religion, politics, spirituality, whatever, I mean, are you a Christian and you're not going to be dating a Satan worshiper or vice versa? Because there's going to be a little bit of conflict. I noticed that unless you're a diehard, apolitical, moderate on neither side of the spectrum on politics, you got to have the same politics, or you're just not getting along. Very few won't let that go.
Well, I think a lot of it, to kind of weigh that out and just to respond real quick, I think what lacks in relationships these days is an understanding that men and women are going to see things differently.
Yes.
And stop trying to convince the other one that they're right or wrong. Just
Mhm.
agree to disagree and agree to respect their opinion for whatever it is, because it's an opinion. It's not like I'm saying it's right or wrong. It's just my opinion based
Right,
on my knowledge.
right.
So when you
And
go into a relationship, you definitely have to have pros and cons, and there's
Mhm.
definitely give and take and
Oh yeah, and
understanding.
exactly, exactly. So how you solve problems? Do you yell and scream at them, or do you just take the opportunity? And in my opinion, I believe in a relationship, there has to be one person that has veto power. You decide who that is. In my relationship, it's my boyfriend. So, and that's just how I was raised. I'm very old school like that. So he's the man, right, Paul? And so we work on everything together. But if there's a conflict, he makes the decision on the conflict, and I am okay with that. I don't harbor any ill will. I come at it with a smile. It's his decision, right? Whatever that is. And we're going through some decisions right now. There was something else that you just brought up about, golly, I wish I could remember what you just said. It was the differences between men and women. Oh, that's what it was. Look, when one partner behaves one way and they're always going to behave this way, and then the other partner behaves one way, and they're always going to behave this way, what happens is you take it personally. Don't take it personally. That's just their behavior. That's what supports each other. There's a whole program on relationships, but there's this one thing that I uh, had it's on relationships, but it's acceptance, like Paul was saying. And it's so profound. It was written by John Kappas. As you recognize the differences in your behaviors, they're not personal attacks, and you learn not to take them personally. You'll be able to open the door to learning how to sustain the benefits that your differences afford each other. Then you'll be able to apply proven concepts to maintain and balance necessary, fulfilling needs of the two different styles of personality. It's not a personal attack. That was one of the mistakes I made in my own marriage, is I took everything as a personal attack, or I attacked and thinking that I wasn't being heard. But that was just my ex-husband's process. That's just how he processed. He just clammed up. And so I knew that that's not what I wanted in my future, right?
Well, I think part of it is too that this is going to be really profound, but guys think like guys and women think like women. And
Yeah.
guys think women think like guys, and women think that guys think like women, and we just don't.
Uh-uh.
And so many people get caught up on, well, you're right or wrong kind of a situation. Well, I think you just have to look at it as their opinion and be able to agree with it. It's in like politics, or like you said, for religion or whatever, because if you don't find that common ground, especially at our age, we're not in high school anymore and saying, hey, go give Susie my phone number and see if she wants to go steady, because it just doesn't work. We've got too many years, but we've got a lot of knowledge too. But you also know what you'll accept and what you won't.
Right.
And
That's
I think
boundaries.
it's really good for both parties to be really open with that in the beginning,
Mhm.
sooner than hiding stuff for later. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, because that's what they typically say, give it 4 or 5 dates, and then all of a sudden you'll see the difference. First date,
Let,
everybody's on their best,
yeah.
and then their second date pretty much, and then they get a little comfortable, and then all of
Mhm.
a sudden you start finding about all the spiders in the closet kind of thing.
Right. One of the things that I learned in this relationship strategy, and if you'd like to know about it, just give me a call, but the cycle process. So you meet people when you're both at a real big high, and it's super exciting and the chemistry's there. And every time you meet up again, 3 or 4 days later, you're still on that big high. And then 3 or 4 days, you're still on that big high. And just like Paul said, then you see them when they're in between that cycle, then between, they're like in work mode. Oh, they're not as excited as they used to be. Well, you saw them at their high. It's like several days go by and there's this new high, and then you go back into your normal comfort zone. And then you go on a date again and there's that high. You got to learn to get along at the comfort zone level as well. One of the things that I know about men, I learned a lot about men. Thank you, Paul. He is my very good friend. Men like to fix things and women like to be heard. So when a woman comes to a man with a problem, he's going to try and fix it. So one of the things I counsel my clients with is, especially to men, you want to fix, yeah, if they just do yada, 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 it will be fine. But women don't always want you to fix their problem. They just want you to listen. And a man doesn't mind listening if that's what it is he's supposed to do, but he doesn't know that until you tell him. Going into what we're going to get into is communication. Top third reason why people split up these days is because of a lack of communication.
Let me answer that, because you're spot on with the nail, but here's how to both sides see the nail is the men should listen and let her be heard and determine if she just wants to be heard or if she really does want to tell a story, and then have him fix the nail.
He can ask.
And the guy should just wait to see if she actually wants him to fix anything or she just wants to be heard. Sometimes they can get away real easy that she's supposed to be listened to. Okay, great. And be supportive and understanding and agree with her opinion and go get a beer.
There's a video I'm putting in the chat. It's not about the nail. It's a 1 minute, 40-second video that actually talks about what we're talking about. It's, just being heard. It's real cute, but it's pretty profound. And it isn't, it's definitely about listening. And you can even ask, do you want me to fix this? Or do you just want me to listen? Now, you got to learn to word it so that she doesn't get pissed off because you said that. Do you just want me to listen? No, you got to be nice about it.
No, but that's what I was saying for both
Yeah.
parties to understand. Give it some time, but either ask for help, or if she doesn't, or if you don't, then you don't need to.
Okay, let's tap into another area. Being in a relationship, you start out, you're dating a couple times a week or whatever. And let's say you're in it now, it's a month or two, let's say 6 weeks into the relationship. Are you both in the relationship at the same pace, or is one further ahead and the other one is further behind? Definitely you want to pace it together so that you don't get so far ahead of somebody that they're not ready to be there yet, or vice versa. You want to make sure. So, and then why are you in a relationship? That's
a really good question.
Why am I here? I dated a lot years ago, and I learned that all of it's feedback. I just had to learn that I had to stop feeling that rejection when they didn't call me, for a second date or a second conversation. It's just feedback for me. So I didn't fail at anything. I just got some feedback about men and about relationships and what they were looking for. Now, when you say on those dating apps, LTR, long-term relationship, do you really mean it? Don't fake it. That's a lie. Don't lie. Honesty is one of the things that I love about Paul is his honesty. He has, you hold him accountable for what he says and what he does. That's his motto. One of his mottos.
Amen.
So, but why are you in a relationship? And then when you're in a relationship, what do you have to bring to it? I'm pushing 60. I have a boyfriend now and he's an amazing guy, but let's say I'm single. So I'm not going to go be dating a 35-year-old who has just, barely started their career. What do they have to give, that kind of thing. So I'm looking for somebody, and this is just me, that's, closer to my age. And then like, even with my boyfriend, we're pretty equal about everything about us, which I like. I don't like it when there's something more, there's a power drive on that. I make more money than you, or I have better status than you, or anything like that. That could be daunting unless you're causing it yourself. I know relationships where the wife didn't want to work, just didn't want to work. And the husband is just killing himself.
I know one of those.
Yeah, you probably know one or two of those. Killing himself, trying to, feed the family and give them a life. And it's just so sad that the woman who's capable of working, who has a degree, who can get out there and make equal money, she just doesn't. And it's just breaks my heart. Get out there, make your own money, girl. Men fall in love with independent women for the most part. And
Well,
then
I think a lot of it too is, look, pretty much you want to look for your equal. If you want to have things in common,
oh yeah,
if you're living on the streets, don't be, going online to the Beverly Hills, section, and
yeah,
vice versa. Everybody, obviously you would always I would at least want to find somebody better than myself, but I would embrace what she brings to it, not just monetarily. A lot of it could be emotionally, if she's stable, if
do they challenge
fun
you?
to be
Do they challenge
around,
your intellect?
Exactly, being able to have a conversation, and not an
Yeah,
argument. If we disagree, it's okay. So yeah, you kind of look for your equal. So you got to understand where you're at in the food chain, and also what you have to bring to offer. And if you don't have things that you think are to the caliber of what you're looking for, well, then you need to change who you are. Michael Jackson
yeah,
had the song, The Man in the Mirror. Look at the person that you are. And do
in the
you
mirror.
like that person? Do you love that person? Or are you willing to continue to fight the good fight and make that person even a better person tomorrow than they are today?
Exactly. Let's go into mind reading. Men are not mind readers.
Mm.
Oh, it took me so many years to learn this. It is absolutely okay to communicate your needs to your partner, vice versa.
Or don't get caught in well, you should have just known.
Oh,
Oh,
please, yes. Woo, right there. No, please don't do that. You
can
should
you
have just
please just
known. I
tell me in
know.
the first place and it's done, and don't
Yeah,
allow me to guess, because we're guys, we're going to guess wrong because we're
we're
going to think
going.
like a guy would.
It is
Possible.
true. So like in my relationship with my boyfriend, for example, as I leave the house, I just shout out, "Hey, don't forget to flirt with me." And that's me communicating with him that I like it when he flirts with me throughout the day. I also made him a honeydew list and I put it on the fridge. Honeydew, text Isla you love her, send her a smiley face. Don't forget to hug her today several times. Make sure you say, I mean, I put it in writing and it's kind of lighthearted or whatever, but he absolutely now knows what and I don't like silence. Don't give me the silent treatment. That ain't gonna fly with me. Silent treatments for children when you're in the playground back in elementary school. I'm not talking to her. You don't need that kind of, oh my gosh, it just drives that would, don't do that. And don't assume what somebody else is thinking by your own, because you're doing it with your own bias. He's thinking about the jet propulsion of an aircraft, and you're thinking about, oh, he looked at that girl at the restaurant. It's like, no, ask them, penny for your thoughts. So you're right. Absolutely. Communicate what it is. Also, what are you attracted to? Are you I mean, just normal physical habits, good, clean, healthy habits that somebody might have. I mean, do you notice they brush their teeth, or do they have good oral hygiene is important? Are their values in line with your values? Like I said, political, religion, communication. Do you support each other in everything you do? Now, it doesn't have to be everything. Maybe she likes to go window shopping and he doesn't. I don't care, that thing, but I like to shoot guns at the range. I'm not a fanatic, but my boyfriend loves it. He's been doing it all his life. So I became a range safety officer so we can work together, just those little things like that. And he comes here and moves furniture with my friend Paul here at my
A
office.
lot.
A lot. I need to move my furniture. I got another piece of furniture. Can we move this one out? And we're not talking small pieces of furniture either, guys. Okay. But how do you test it? Sometimes it just takes time. How would you test? You said something to me years ago, keep them talking.
Well, for a guy with a lady, because statistically, the guy really needs to listen because ladies are designed to talk, and
Yeah.
you know, an 80-20 ratio is about what you should be doing. And but really listening too, so you can actually respond with a question and going, huh? You know, and but understand, if you let her listen, if you'll listen, then you'll find out she'll tell you everything. And if you just kind of agree to understand what she's saying and then ask her questions about it and then let her answer. Guys, we're not that detailed, you know, we just want to know, tell me where to go, do, sit, and I'll be right there, and you know, I'm ready for dinner kind of thing. But ladies like a lot more detailed. So it's just a matter of understanding the differences and working it out.
Yeah, one of the things Dolly Parton said, how do you make your relationship last? Like I think she's been married like 55 years or something. And she's like, I'm gone all the time. Just be gone. It's a new beginning every time. I'm not suggesting that works for everybody.
No.
But here I have more notes. Sometimes you just when you see yellow flags, you got to raise an eyebrow to that yellow flag. Don't answer the question that you just asked them. If they're not asking you questions, don't worry about it. That to me is a flag to consider. They're not asking me questions. I've asked them 10 questions and they haven't asked me one. I'm not going to answer the question to them that I just asked them.
Well,
you ask
but
it and go on.
let me respond to that though, because you may be getting the answer, but you're not looking and you're not observing. Because a lot of times the body language is already telling you the answer before you even get a verbal answer. You know, look at the eyes. They will tell the truth. If
Like
she
that.
likes what she's exactly, you know what I'm saying? So if a guy is talking to a lady like that, watch her body language. You know, look at her expressions, look at her face and her eyes, especially. She'll let you know without saying a word if she likes it or not. And if she does and responds with body language and emotionally to it, then you know you're on the right track. If she doesn't, switch it. Try to come up with something different, go down a different road, but understand she doesn't have to say anything. Watch everything, her arms, if she leaning forward, she leaning back,
Yeah,
she's like,
is
oh
she
my
leaning
God.
forward? Is she leaning in or not? It's
Well,
important.
statistically too, let me throw a number out there because it was to me, it's 0 to 100. And when you're trying to relay something, a message to anybody, how much is the perception actually based off of the words? And best case is 20%. So the other 80% is like here, my emotions, my voice, the tone of my voice,
demeanor,
you know, my hand gestures, my face measure. That's 80% of relaying or conveying your emotions is what you do, how you say it, and everything that's going on with you emotionally when you're interpreting or relaying your thoughts.
you know, Paul has gotten really, really good at predicting a woman's behavior when she's ready to get set off. I call it set. He's got set off radar.
I don't know, that's a good attribute, but unfortunately
No.
been in those situations enough times that
You learn, and it's like almost like it's just down the line. Women behave this way, and then they get triggered, which is a red flag. So if you're easily triggered, don't date until you're untriggered. That's when you come see me, the hypnotherapist, and I help you reduce and collapse those triggers.
amen.
Duh, right? Okay, we still have time. Let's see. Narcissism. I wanted to go into narcissism. I can't tell you how many women come to me about their male partners who are narcissistic, and there are plenty of men who have female. So it's really not gender specific.
No, it's both sides. I think that's a teeter-totter.
It's a teeter-totter. But here's the thing. If you're trying to live with a narcissist who's constantly gaslighting, twisting your words, making everything your fault, doesn't admit when they're wrong, it's just a constant berating. My opinion, folks, just be quiet. Don't say anything. Literally say nothing, because anything you say will trigger them to continue to gaslight you and get you to, engage in their fight. Now, how do you know when someone like that is really contrite, when they start to come back and say, I am so sorry. Can we try it again? Please forgive me. I'll be better, blah, blah, blah. And they say all these beautiful things. And how do you know they mean it? Tell them no. And watch, like Paul said, watch their behavior. Are they going to blow up? Are they going to continue in their contrition? Or are they going to just go right back to, well, see, blah, 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 and get all mad? That's the behavior. Anybody I dated when I was in the dating phase, whatever, and not one of them will ever be able to say that I was unkind to them. I wanted them to always see, no matter what, who I am. Whether it was a rejection or I rejected them, whatever, there was always kindness. So no matter what, they have a memory when they were to ever hear of my name, the memory is Isla was a cool chick or whatever. That's what I want to have, no matter what happens. They could be the doggiest dog. And, Paul and I have exchanged war stories many times. We should have an online dating forum just to talk about the war stories that we've had. But it's been an up and down, roller coaster. But you know what? I've learned. We learn, ladies and men. We learn, boys and girls. Do you have anything else you'd like to throw out there, Paul?
Nope, just be kind to one another. Listen and learn. It's better to listen to gain knowledge than it is to listen just to respond.
Right. Real quick, because you're really good at this. Number 2, maybe 3 things most important when you're on an online dating app.
Oh my, well, from the guy's point of view, just
Yes.
be super, super, super careful, because you know what? Almost the bigger majority are scammers online today. They truly are.
Right.
And over the course of 7 years now, on and off different sites and the huge majority of them are not even honest. They all, looking for long-term relationships. They're looking for sincere marriage, but their photos aren't, recent. I mean, I've been on a date or a meet and greet where the photo was 11 years old, and it was before the lady was in and out of 2 different drug and alcohol rehabs. And, with the age, is so many times fake. Here's the 2 biggest things. What do ladies mostly fib about on their profiles?
We fib about our age and what we look like. I think. Weight. Oh, we fib. Yeah, we fib on our weight.
What do guys fib about?
Their
number
age.
1 thing.
Their age? No. Is it their age? No. Oh, their height.
Their height.
How tall they are, because they think that all women want tall men. It's not true. My daughter is 4'9". She's in her 30s. And I was talking about my boyfriend who's 5'8". She's like, that's too tall for her. That's like, should have to hurt her, like a giraffe kind of thing. So she would rather be with somebody that's more like 5'4". So guys, there are women out there. So especially guys are a little more sensitive about their height than women, obviously, because they lie about it.
Let me finish up on this one though, because I think this is important too.
Yes.
As far as the online thing, don't get caught in the endless texting, because that's a huge majority of it too. Just from a guy, as far as ladies, figure out if it's somebody you want to talk to, get them on the phone, because until you get them on the phone, you're not even going to know if they're real. And seriously, you'll know if you even want to meet them, but only after you talk to them. You have no perception of really who this person is on paper, on that website, with that photo, with this verbiage they wrote, until you get them on the phone. So eliminate a whole lot of time and a whole lot of trouble. Get them on the phone, talk to them, and then if you are interested, get together, meet.
Right.
But don't
get a
go to any
coffee.
place, that's it. Don't
Just go
go to
get a
a
coffee.
restaurant, don't go to anywhere else. Just meet for a quick little easy, hi, how you doing? If there's a connection, that's awesome. If there isn't, then that's also awesome. Meet somebody,
Right.
have fun. But
Exactly.
there's so much of, me and a buddy of mine years ago, we literally with this one girl and over 6 weeks and only responded one time a day and would literally get to questions like, well, do you like dogs? Yeah. What type of dogs? Now, this is like a 24-hour thing. And what color do you like? What? So again, it's hard online. I don't like doing it. It's just, but you'll get their mannerisms. You'll get to learn somebody. 5 minutes on the phone is worth way more than you're going to learn 5 weeks online texting and texting.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you'll know about their energy too, and if it's compatible with what you're doing and where you're at. Because I've literally been on the phone. This is the last thing I'll say real quick, where I did talk to a lady, and she was good. We were texting, and it looked all good. But literally, when I got her on the phone, so I've got energy. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Okay." Well, what are you doing? I'm just sitting here. Well, what would you like to
No,
do?
no energy.
And it's the same thing where you're just dragging the conversation out. But again, you know what? You're never going to know that from text messages. And hands down, the worst form of communication that gets misperceived all the time is through text messaging. So use it for what it needs to be. Set up the phone conversation. Be safe about what you're doing with your number, but set up the phone conversation. Then you'll know. Because you'll either want to move forward or you won't. So the faster you get there, and then get on the meet and greet. And then there again, if there's chemistry and stuff, hey, give it a second or third shot and see what's going on with it. So, and be
Right.
safe. Oh, so many
Oh, please.
scammers, so
Be
many
so
scammers. Even the ones you don't think are scammers,
Are
scammers.
scammers. Yeah.
They'll get you 2-3 weeks, a month down the road, texting. Oh, I love you. And, oh, I want to come see you, but oh, my transmission went out my car. And, oh,
Grandma died and
no, grandma was
Tony.
in the hospital and just got out, needed money for prescription, and the
Oh my
other one,
gosh.
the dog just got hit in the
Don't
street.
don't give
So
them money. Don't give
never,
any money.
no.
No.
So
And
boys and girls, be good to each
lady,
other. It's been fun.
yeah, absolutely have fun. I had one more thing I wanted to bring up. Talked about independence, speaking the same language. Solving problems together. What about your conflict and respect levels when you don't get your way? Does it really matter so much? You're going to throw a relationship away because you didn't get your way.
That's what they make pepper spray and tasers for.
That's right. And then let's see. You should never, ever feel like when you're in a solid relationship, nobody should ever feel like they're in trouble or that they have to walk on eggshells around their partner. That's a huge flag. It's time to get out or find out why you're feeling like you're in trouble all the time. No, there should be freedom in a relationship. Monogamous, yes, I'm all about monogamy, but just freedom that you can go out and be with your friends and still come home and you have this wonderful person there that lets you have that freedom because they know that you're there for them and vice versa. Let's see, what was
Trust.
the other? Go ahead.
Trust.
Trust. Oh, that was it. Trust is huge, but on someone's profile, if the very first thing says trust, I suggest you run because they have trust issues and
Oh
they're
boy,
going to bring
yeah.
them into a relationship. Trust is part. So even if they say the word trust, that's a big red flag for me. I just want trust. I want someone I can trust. Well, what happened? Ask why, what happened? And they're going to tell you the drama of what got them there. Now they are not going to be trusting of you right away. It's going to take a long time. Run for the hills. Get
That when they
away.
talk about no drama are the ones that I found that actually have more of the drama.
They are the
Oh,
drama.
that's why, again, get them on the phone, talk to them and say hi, because you'll know really quick.
Oh, yeah. Use your intuition and trust your gut. Oh my gosh. On Instagram, there's this content creator. Her name's Mel Robbins. She's brilliant. I mean, she's just got and she does. You have a thought that is right, but you let it go. It's killed like within 5 seconds. Trust your intuition, and it's been studied. Your intuition, your gut feeling is right all the time. Go with
You
it.
know how long it is when you have a thought that you need to react on it, or you'll change your mind?
I heard 5 seconds.
Exactly, 3 to 5 seconds. So,
Yeah. Otherwise, it's
act on it. You'll talk yourself out of it and go on to something else.
and it could be as simple as I need to get out of bed. I don't feel like it. Well, don't live by your feelings. I wouldn't be out of bed if I felt like it. I wanted to stay in bed this morning. I loved it. It was so cozy. I was sleeping. It was fun, etc. So that's my thing. How can hypnotherapy help you? If you have any kind of behavioral issue that you have a desire to change, that's how it can help you. Let's say you're dealing with a negative self-image. Well, hypnotherapy can help boost your positive image and kind of change that around. And it's not a mind control thing. You're doing the work. I'm just the coach and you're the athlete, and I'm just becoming a conduit for that. One of the best things that I ever did with some of my dates is play chess with them. I'm a terrible chess player, but I know how the pieces move and I know the concept of the game. So I'll play chess. I'm just going to play. I don't care if I win or lose, but I'm going to watch their behavior on the moves that I make and how they're strategizing their moves. You can tell a lot in the behavior of someone when they play chess or a game like chess. I didn't say chest, Paul. Chess, for sure. And then, yeah, any last thoughts that you would like to put out there?
No, I appreciate it. I heard that your show is going well, and I wish you more success. I know your practice has been getting bigger and bigger every week. I was a little nervous when you moved into the new building, but it did save me and Mike from having to go up 2 flights of stairs to get all your furniture back and forth. But no, congratulations. Everything's been going real well for you, and I wish you well and continued success.
Oh yeah, more success. Don't become codependent, people. Don't spend, don't lose your boundaries. Don't always apologize if you're not in trouble. You didn't do anything wrong. Fine. If you did, own it. That's it.
Amen to that too.
And live happily ever after. I have to go to a meeting and Paul has to go build tether trainers. Hey, Paul, why don't you real quick tell everybody what you're doing? They're right, those big sticks that are right behind you. People are going to wonder, what are those things? Yeah.
Basically, it's a cross between pickleball and tetherball, and literally I'm trying to design something so people of all ages, my little 4-year-old granddaughter to my 84-year-old mother is also using it. It's like a tetherball, but it has a pickleball on it, and so it's very, very light, and you use the paddle, but it can goes anywhere, indoors, outdoors, day or night. I have the LED version, glow-in-the-dark version. So it makes a lot of fun, and I've taken a lot of places, and I'm really, really excited about it because people need something that's easy. How about our kids get off the couch and, off their computers and start having something? But, it's fun for adults with the children and vice versa, and it literally goes anywhere with you. So I'm pretty excited. I got it on the market right now. I got my patent approved on it. So it's in God's hands. So couldn't be better.
I'm putting it in the chat. If you want more information, to contact Paul for the pickleball tool.
Another trainer.
Trainer. Or anything pickleball.
Anything about anything, or just ask a guy a question. If ladies are out there and they want a guy's opinion, I'll give a neutral opinion, but also that from an opinion from a guy that really wants to understand ladies better, because I didn't. I had no idea, because we kind of think that you think alike. So I've done a lot of research to try to make sure that wherever I go in the future, I'm doing the best job I can. So again, I thank you. I appreciate being on the show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paul. He's been a regular guest upon occasion. And he has talked to some of my girlfriends about what, I've gotten them on the phone just to talk to them about, hey, what about this? And what am I looking for? And I'm ready to go date. And from a man's perspective, he's very helpful like that. So you can use him like that, or go out on a date with him. You don't hear this. Call him up. Call him up. All right, Paul. Take care, everyone. Have a fabulous weekend. Take care, and I'll be back next week with more Most Things Hit